Welcome back. The Democratic Alliance once again hit by a big resignation of a leader within their political party. So Zwakele Mncwango has resigned as the party's chief whip in the KZN provincial legislature. He joins us now this morning. Mr. Mncwango, thank you very much. I appreciate your time. Let's start here if we can. It's the obvious question. The entire country is wondering, why are you leaving the DA?
Thank you, Garrett, and morning to the viewers and yourself. Yeah, firstly, I can confirm that I have resigned as a chief whip, and also I have resigned as a member of legislature. I have not yet resigned as a member of a DA. There are two separate things here. I was sent to legislature by the DA. I was representing the DA in legislature. So at the moment, I have resigned as a member of legislature, just to give myself time to do some introspection, because I think I've reached a stage where I feel personally I'm representing the organization, but at some stage I find myself, it is emotionally draining when you can't really defend some of the decisions in terms of aligning the values of the organization in the space of government where I'm sent by the party. So I felt it's the best thing for me to step back and do introspection and decide what I'm doing in my future. I think it was the right thing to do for me, because there's a saying in Zulu where they say a dog with a bone in the mouth can't bark. So sometimes most of the politicians, when you are in a sphere of government, you are deployed by the party, you end up focusing on a salary and protecting your salary, even if you feel you are no more happy. So I felt, let me disconnect myself from the so-called salary, from a legislature. Then I can able to sit back and ask myself whether am I still able to contribute to the DA or not.
Talk to me about even just one of those decisions that you say you feel was not aligned with yourself and the Democratic Alliance. Like what? Give me an example. What broke the camel's back in this case?
Look, there are a few examples, but I'll make the recent one, Gerald. You know, for example, in Western Cape, the DA values of fairness, and we believe in a rule of law. You know, you've got a speaker there, Zwakele Mncwango, who was alleged to have done something wrong, and I believe he must answer if he has done something wrong. But currently, the organization decided to charge Zwakele through Hawks, which is the right thing to do, because he was a whistleblower, and I think they did the right thing by sending him to Hawks. But following to that, he was suspended by the party. After that, he's now going through the trial within the organization. So how can you subject someone in a parallel prosecution? I think on Monday he was attending his case with the FLC, and again on Wednesday. So for me, there's something wrong there in terms of the fairness of the process, because definitely you are saying you don't even trust the law enforcement. And also, as a matter of principle, there's a whistleblower here. If a whistleblower gives information to the premier, and it can't be that the same information is given to the party, because of the Whistleblower Act, which protects the whistleblower. So for me, those are the things you say there's something wrong here. But then when there's a fear in the party to speak out and have different views, there's a problem. Because most parties in South Africa are being destroyed, but when leadership creates fear in a fear atmosphere where people can't really speak out in terms of their views and have different views within the party. And
is that the fear within the DA, Mr. Mncwango? Is there fear for speaking out within the Democratic Alliance? Is that what you're saying?
Look, definitely you can tell, Gerald. As I'm saying, in Western Cape, for example, there's a big question to say there was an investigation done against the deputy speaker there, and she was found guilty, and nothing has been done internally. And why there's that fear of speaking out about that issue? Now you target the speaker, but you ignore issues that are faced by deputy speaker in the same government. So again, the issue of collusion, Gerald, we want to build this country. We want to make sure that all South Africans come together as united and change this government of the ANC. But how do you do that if you're going to be arrogant in terms of your approach in this coalition arrangement? And I personally believe that it was of the DAs being arrogant how we collapsed Johannesburg. Yes, we might have different views. Some might say, no, DA wasn't arrogant. I believe our approach to coalition arrangement in general, there's some arrogance in terms of that approach. So where then you can able to speak, because once you start to speak and have a different view and say, this is my reason why I believe the party is being arrogant in all coalition arrangement, you're going to be sidelined, you're going to be prosecuted, you're going to be told you have spoken against the party. So meaning there's no space to speak out and deal with these issues. So end of the day, Gerald, all of us, most of us want to see a better South Africa. And it's clearly we can only build South Africa by forming coalition arrangements. And you can't start by saying, I will never discuss coalition arrangement with Party A. The reason why we contest election differently is because we've got different ideologies, we've got different policies. It's one reason why we go to election as different organizations. But after election, once voters have spoken, we must be able to sit down and discuss and say what is best for the country. It's not about us. We can't be arrogant and say, I can't discuss with Party A.
Are you worried, Mr. Mncwango, just as a last question to you, I'm sure there's going to be a reaction from DA leadership throughout the day, and I'm sure we'll get that reaction as well. From your perspective, though, as I say goodbye, are you worried now that you've spoken out about what is happening within the DA? You even mentioned arrogance and fear-mongering. Are you worried that you're going to be asked to leave the political party, or are you planning to leave the DA completely?
I'm not really worried. As I said, it's just for me to do introspection. I'm giving myself a few days and time to decide whether I still want to be in the party or not. But I haven't decided that I'm leaving the party. Hence, when I resigned, I've never said I'm leaving the party, and I'm not leaving the party. But if the organization decide otherwise, I won't be worried, honestly. That is why I said I must separate myself, because there are so many people in the organization who are not really happy, who are emotionally drained. But because of the fear that they have a salary to earn, they have families to protect in terms of this income, we have a high level of unemployment. But fortunately for me, I can able to go to a private sector. I was privileged that I was able to be one of the individuals who have the opportunity to go to higher education. I can able to go anywhere and really share my skills in the private sector. So I'm not really worried. It is why I said, let me separate myself from the organization in terms of legislature, but remain a member. But in the next few days, I will decide what I want to do, whether I still want to continue the party. If the party is prepared to engage me on these issues, I'm happy to sit down and engage and have that robust discussion.
Well, I appreciate your time in speaking to us this morning. Zwakele Mncwango, outgoing DA Chief Whip for KZN's legislature, joining us this morning.